Good evening, race fans. Welcome into the penultimate race of the season, race 15 of 16, the round of 4 finale here tonight at Michigan International Speedway. As always, got my co-commentator Art in the booth. How we doing tonight?
I'm really excited to be in Motor City adjacent here for Michigan. 100 laps of a... It's not a mini super speedway, but it's kind of close.
Yeah, the Irish Hills of Michigan got an international contingent. The Canadians are out in force here for a near sellout crowd. The front stretch looks a little light, but nevertheless, like Art mentioned, 100 laps here tonight. Stage break comes at lap 35. Fuel capacity is 70%. Estimated fuel run, talking to the drivers pre-race, 27 to 31 laps. 5 total tire sets, and then 0 fast repairs. 3 green-white checkers, as always. And let's go ahead and get right into the on-track action as qualifying is underway.
Ooh, I just noticed the stage lap is going to be right after a fuel run.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot on the line tonight. And here's the man we'll be watching with his alternate strategies. Jonathan Schwartz in the 58 machine. He crosses the line. He'll go P4. Currently on pole is Sean Anderson. And Jared Lindsay gets him by 100th of a second in a new paint scheme. Basically a statistical tie. At the top of the timing chart for that 18 machine. There are 5 drivers within half a tenth of a second. Make that 6. My goodness. And it is tight at the top. The 29 machine is Scarborough improves to 8th. Got a minute left. Time for the 41 to complete his lap. He won here at Michigan last season thanks to a brilliant strategy call. Saved a set of tires. Nobody else had him. Late caution. And he was able to drive away to victory. Looking to improve on his second lap. Cody B. Johnson improves into the top 10. The 41 machine crosses the line to complete qualifying, and he will jump up to P7. And that is everyone. Ben Thomas and William Bowman don't look to be coming out of the garage for their laps. So that is the field set for tonight's race, with 14 drivers electing to qualify. 9/10 of a second from 1st to 14th, so everyone in the 39-second bracket. And as qualifying comes to an end, let's show you the championship standings as they enter tonight and what's on the line for these drivers. As we'll bring them up right now. The round of 4 finale, they do it a little bit differently. But the 4 drivers that have advanced on points, Jared Lindsay, Nathaniel Landwehr, Jonathan Schwartz, and Sean Anderson. The top 2 of these drivers on points at the end of the night will be racing for a championship. So the points battle is very much on for these 4. And then we will have 2 wildcard drivers to fill out the remainder of the championship 4. So it's still 4 drivers for the championship, but the exact same procedure as last season. The driver with the best average finish in all races will get the 3rd spot, and the driver with the most participation not in the top 2 will advance to the championship finale as well. So that opens up the door for guys like Randy Arms to get back into it. And then there's
I'm not sure it necessarily does.
There is a...
Randy has missed a race.
He did miss last week, but if the cards fall exactly the way he's hoping to, then there is a shot to get in on average finish. But we will wait and see how that all shakes up at the end of the night. But the thing to notice is Jared Lindsay, Nathaniel Landwehr, Jonathan Schwartz, and Sean Anderson. 2 of these drivers will be racing for a championship, confirmed at the end of the night on points alone.
And we definitely have a shakeup already. Jared Lindsay is disconnected due to upload packet loss.
Ooh, that is not... And he's also missed a race, so he would have to fall back on average finish, which is far and away the best of anybody in the league with his 5 wins, excuse me. So that adds a wrinkle into this. We'll see if he can get back in. Looking at the drivers with 14 races completed, it is Nathaniel Landwehr, Jonathan Schwartz, Ryan Tiller, and Michael Davis. But depending on what happens to Landwehr and Schwartz, as they also have 14 races and they have average finishes to bank on, there's just going to be a lot of mental math to work through after the conclusion of tonight's race. We'll just see how it all shakes out.
There's a very easy way all 4 drivers could make it to the next round.
There is. It could be this exact 4.
Because if Lindsay's not able to come back, he would be the highest average finisher.
Yep, so he gets in.
And Landwehr and Schwartz have made all races. So if they just let Anderson be one of the top 2, all 4 would just make it to the next round.
They would. So this will promote Randy Arms to the front row. We'll see if Jared Lindsay can get back in. Ben Thomas is going to be starting from the pits, so 14 cars, 7 rows deep, 2 by 2 to start it. Bonus points will come into play as well. But pace car is off, and we are coming to the Geico restart zone to get this round of 4 underway. 100 laps. And Sean Anderson gets us underway here this evening. Green flag in the air. But Randy Arms better in the second phase of the start. And he'll head into turn number 1, your race leader. As they're side by side for the second position. The 15 going to try and wind up the momentum on the outside and make a run down the back straightaway, pulling right up to the back bumper. We'll see what kind of fuel strategy we have going on here early. It's going to be tough to save 4 laps, I would imagine. But let's go on board and see what the mindset is for some of these drivers right off the bat. And we'll go on board here with the 58 of Schwartz, as we know he loves a good alternate strategy to get in the mix.
Jared Lindsay has reconnected.
And he is already a couple of laps down. Randy Arms pacing this field. Doesn't look like any savings going on, and with as tight as the fuel is, if you're not saving now, then realistically they're going to be making a pit stop before the end of our one and only stage. Here comes Jared Lindsay. And he is in danger of going another lap down. And Ben Thomas starting from pits, he could go a lap down if he's not careful. I don't know why our ticker showed lap 4. It finally updated to lap 3.
Going back in time.
Yes, we went backwards. But Randy Arms continues to lead Sean Anderson, comfortable in second for the time being. They're all pulling each other along in the draft, but Jared Lindsay is 2 laps down. He is the only driver a lap down. If nobody else goes a lap down, he's a guaranteed recipient of the lucky dog. And then if we get one more caution, then he would be back in business. But we know the LSRL guy's very clean. So we could realistically only have the stage caution, and Jared Lindsay would be stuck 1 lap down. And Ben Thomas being 17 seconds off the pace, it's almost half of a lap. So we'll see if he can hang on. If not, that would be disastrous for Lindsay. And he would have to fall back on the average finish provisional, which would get worse with a 16th place finish.
Lindsay's 1 lap now.
Showing him as 2.
iRacing has him as 1.
Interesting. Well, I guess it's 1.5, yeah.
But that half is pretty good for him.
Yes.
He was the fastest car on track, put it on pole for qualifying, so
yeah,
he has fresher tires, technically.
That's right, because, yeah, it was saying lap 4. So, yeah, he'll be all right. He just needs Ben Thomas to not go a lap down or nobody else to have an incident. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I'm impressed with Sean Anderson. He's got 12 top 10s on the season, deserves to be in the round of 4. But he really hasn't found like that top 3 speed. We haven't interviewed him a lot in terms of the podium. But he's always just in the top 5 and definitely in the top 10. But tonight, he's looking focused, and he's got a great shot at the win here early on, comfortable in the 2nd position. So we'll see if he can turn it up right when it matters the most. He's doing a nice job so far in the 15 machine. Biggest mover so far is William Bowman in the 53, up 4 positions. He's trying to crack the top 10 side by side, almost on the exit of 2 with Casey Brown. He's going to try the crossover. No, tuck back in line. Right now, Sean Anderson looking good to advance on points alone.
I believe currently it would all come down to that average position for Jared Lindsay. If one race could really do it to him, but I believe with 5 wins, he would be almost a lot.
Right now, he's out on points, so Landwehr is in.
I'm not sure if Sean Anderson would even be in, considering how close the points are.
I think he would jump Schwartz, would he not? It'll be very close again. Mental math will be crucial, especially if you can maintain a 0x, get your bonus points for that. If you can lead a lap, and all the goodies that come with that. 3 bonus points for the race win, 1 bonus point for lap led, 1 for most laps led, 1 bonus point for the 0x, and 5 bonus points for finishing the entire race. So a lot of bonus points to be thrown into the mix as well. And Scott Kelly is in for an early pit stop. Looks like he's got right side damage. Let's see if we can back it up, take a look at what happened to the 89 machine. Looks like it was on the exit of turn number 2. Clean car there. And it just did not turn for him whatsoever.
I've seen a little bit of struggles out of the top 5. I know Landwehr was struggling with his car pretty early on. It looks like he can get really tight on exit.
So let's see, though. This will be crucial. How long is Scott Kelly going to stay on pit road? There goes Ben Thomas. And here comes Jared Lindsay through 3 and 4. Could have got a little awkward for him if Scott Kelly were to come out ahead of him, but that will not be the case, so no troubles there. Jared Lindsay picks up a position. That'll slightly help out the average finish as well. And he is still the lucky dog. Ben Thomas should not lose enough time. He's only 18 seconds back. He's only lost a second and a half or so since the drop of the green flag. So I think he'll be fine, and Jared Lindsay can breathe a sigh of relief. Sean Anderson, he's starting to close right into the back bumper of Randy Arms. Less than a car length separating your top 2. Being pulled along in the draft. Does he try and take a peek? As it is all single file right now. Everyone, you said it at the top of the show, kind of behaves somewhat like a super speedway. Draft is very important if you can manage it. Right now, the 15 taking a peek to the inside. He is there. Side by side as Xander turn number 3. That's a power move on the inside. He'll take the top spot away. He's got a bonus point coming his way. He can just make it a couple 100 yards. Looks like he'll do so.
Getting this bonus point early on is going to be really big. Won't have to try and force it later on.
Lead change number 1 of the afternoon, but Jonathan Schwartz and Nathaniel Landwehr are right there. So 3 of your top 4 are round of 4 drivers. You can see at the top of your screen as well, highlighted in purple when they go across the top of the screen.
Sean Anderson came to play here for Michigan.
He has unlocked a little bit of speed. He just found that extra lap time that he's been missing. Tied for the most top 10s on the season. With 12, he's tied with Schwartz, but only 3 top 5s to match it. So he's hanging out a lot in that 6 to 10 range. No race wins. His average finish is 7.4. So that kind of tells you his consistency. And he has definitely turned it on tonight and found that little bit extra. So now we got a battle for second. And Schwartz wants to get up there and join the party. Cody B. Johnson in, so it looks like he's going to commit to the early splash and go in the 04 machine. Knowing he doesn't have enough to make it to the stage break. No damage on the 04. New paint scheme for him this week as well. Let's take a look here at what he decides to do.
I feel like it's a little too early to be taking
And he's going to take tires as well. I mean, you got 4 sets,
Really?
so going to be aggressive on the strategy. Looks like that was right sides only, though. So that is an interesting decision. And Jared Lindsay will go by, but Cody B. Johnson will be ahead still. And he will actually come out ahead of the leaders as well. So not a lap down, and he's got fresher right side tires. So, again, no one else a lap down ahead of Jared Lindsay. It was very close.
Might have a battle here for second. Schwartz looking to make the move on Rainy Arms.
Power through the inside, slide up in front of him in the 58. No Flow Racing driver up to second. Randy's going to just draft him down the front stretch.
Actually went low there a little bit to try and pull Landwehr ahead of him.
Landwehr up to third as well. But you see, that's how close it is. There's Jared Lindsay. There's Cody B. Johnson. And there's the battle for the race lead. Jonathan Schwartz aggressive into turn number 3. And he'll take the lead, trying to get his bonus point to cancel out the 15s. The 66 wants it as well. Put a bonus point on the board for the 58 machine, leading his first lap of the evening. He'll pull down. Try and bring the 66 right along with him. Good team play here from your top 2. As Landwehr settles into second. All happened in the last handful of laps here. Had some action in the second group here as well. Lucas Reed, Tony Scarbo. Right behind your lead group. We'll take that spot away. As now it's a group of 5 as the 41 machine. Jonathan Mazzella has joined the party. That is 5 cars separated by 5/10 of a second. And then a second and a half back to Ryan Tiller in 6th. He's also rocking a new paint scheme this week. The Guinness car. Looking very sleek as he leads this second group. William Bowman up 6 positions.
Yeah, Tiller teased it earlier on Twitter. Likes to do that with all his new paint schemes.
It is very sleek. I'll give him that. And Randy's in. So this will be his first stop. He knows he can't make it on fuel. No one's going to be able to make it on fuel. So he's going to pull the trigger first of that 5 front runners. It was a solid entry onto pit road. Let's see if he just does a splash and go or what the strategy is here for the 8 machine. Stops perfectly in his box. Oh, maybe not. Definitely not.
He had to back it up.
He pulled it forward, thought he was in reverse, so he's going to take right sides. He might commit to it. He's going to commit to a 4-tire stop here, and he'll lose out. And he was still in reverse, so a disastrous pit stop for the 8 machine in the early going here. And he is going to be a lap down as this second group comes into pit. So Randy Arms, 1 lap down. He's all the way behind Lucas Reed in 7th, who's 5 seconds off the lead. So that is unfortunate for Jared Lindsay, but Randy will be able to get his lap back.
He should be able to get it.
Yeah, back on
lap himself.
Yeah, and what we just kind of realized here for Jared Lindsay is he is so far behind. He was a lap down, but it's that half a lap that's really going to cost him on pit stops as well when he comes in to make that stop. So if he has any slight bobble on pit road, he could go 2 down, so he's got to be flawless in his execution. Jonathan Mazzella's in, Scarbo's in, Scott Kelly is back in.
None of our leaders, though.
Scarbo, 9-second pit stop.
Sean Anderson.
He's gonna
First of the front 3.
Ryan Tiller is back in. So I'm not sure if he didn't get the car full of fuel, or if there was a penalty. He's got to come back down, unsafe exit potentially. But Ryan Tiller, mistake early in this race. Sees him come back down pit road. Let's see what happens here. It could be an auto fuel issue. Sean Anderson stops in his box, and yeah, it looks like he's serving a penalty. Sean Anderson down and away, 6 seconds. I think he just took fuel. And Ryan Tiller will even fall behind Jared Lindsay as well, so put Lindsay up another position.
Bless you. I can't believe this long into having the auto fuel, it's still an issue.
Yeah, but it looks like it was a penalty, though, for the...
Well,
yeah, because it's 40 seconds. I'd imagine unsafe entry or exit. And yep, 44 seconds in. Yeah, but now Nathaniel Landwehr has led as well. So everyone but Jared Lindsay has got a bonus point in the round of 4. Cody B. Johnson, he was the first to pull the trigger. He took right sides only. He's got a sizable margin. Stage is coming here at lap 35. So is he in the catbird seat, or will the 41 on the aggressive strategy? He took 4 tires to Sean Anderson 0. And you see no contest. The speed difference off the corner and down the entire back straightaway. Here comes the 41 machine. Jared Lindsay finally making his pit stop. And it was 4 tires. And Ryan Tiller, crucially, back ahead of Jared Lindsay. So he still cycles out ahead. So now it's actually gone from bad to worse over the course of these pit stops. And he might end up another lap down here. Yeah, Ryan Tiller 2 down. Jared Lindsay now officially 2 laps down, with the net leader potentially right behind him. But he did just take 4 fresh tires, so we'll see if he's able to hold off this 41 machine. Only your top 2. Well, top 3, Ben Thomas also has not pitted. So the top three have stayed out on the racetrack. Cody B. Johnson is the net leader, but for how much longer over the hard-charging 41? Michael Davis trying to get around the 88 here down the back straightaway. Looks like he got a great run out of 2. Pulling way down, doesn't want to get side drafted back, and will take the 9th spot away into turn 3. I'll be curious to see what the decision is with this 58 and 66. Do they take tires and then don't take a set at the stage, or a splash and go and then take it at the stage? I'll be very curious.
It is very curious because if you take tires now, you don't have to do it at the stage and you get to keep your position. If you don't take it now, you're losing spots. You have to take them at the stage, and there's a chance everyone else will too, and you have to drive through them.
This track position will be important because there's been no cautions. And this will be big for Jared Lindsay's race. He gets back ahead of the 23 machine. So he is the first car 2 laps down. Lucas Reed. Eric Shields just ahead of this battle. Jonathan Shorts comes in. He leaves his teammate out. William Bowman, Eric Shields, Lucas Reed. They will all get their laps back when the 66 finally pulls the trigger. So that will promote Jared Lindsay further up the order. I still think he's in play here. Ben Thomas finally makes the trip down
here
pit
comes
road.
Landwehr.
If your race leader comes in, that's going to allow people to unlap themselves. And here is your race leader once it cycles through. 66 machine. At 55 miles an hour. All the way down pit road into his box. Aggressive on the entry, slides, but it looks like he'll get it done. And it's going to be a splash and go for the 66 machine. But he still will not hold the lead. 41 aggressive. Cody B. Johnson into second on his very early stop. So that aggression paying off nicely for him. Landwehr will settle into about the 5th position. Maybe the 6th. Scarbo does go by, so he will settle into 5th. Randy took tires, so I think Randy will be able to sail on by as well. As we are just a handful of laps away from the stage break here. Sean Anderson got a raw deal on all of that. Did not elect to take tires.
Lindsay is 1 lap down.
And
he's the only driver 1 lap down currently.
He's got to be careful, though. Ben Thomas is 34 seconds. So there is Ben Thomas. And just in that background is Jonathan Mazzella. It's 35.5 seconds. Ben Thomas did not take tires either. So Mazzella could quickly close in here. He's a second quicker. It's going to be pretty close, honestly. I think he'll hold on. But
Jared, I would just throw the blocking job of a lifetime.
Lindsay is sweating this out a bit here, though. If it was lap 40, I don't think he'd have a chance. But lap 35, I think he'll be okay. Let's go on board with him here. The 41 not in the playoffs, so he doesn't have any incentive to hold back, or there's no affiliations there. So he can do whatever the heck he wants to do here. Last lap for Ben Thomas, 41.50 last lap for Jonathan Mazzella, 40.75. So Ben Thomas should be okay, as should Jared Lindsay. So let's look at this battle here. Stage points on the line. So the aggressive strategy paying off for guys like the 41.
I think Jared Lindsay's actually bump drafting Ben Thomas.
That is very, very smart. Let's take a look at it down the front stretch. He's like, hey, buddy. Yeah, he is.
He straight up is.
He's trying to get him any sort of speed he can. The next lap will end the stage 38.5 seconds back. It is so, so close.
Now this is intriguing racing. Can you push Ben Thomas to keep him ahead?
I think he'll do it. And props to Ben Thomas. He didn't just get out of the way. He's like, hey, we're good. Just keep pushing me. I'm fine with it. He didn't just get out of the way. Yeah, Ben Thomas, 39.5 seconds, but it's a 40.5 second lap time, and look how close it is, but he will make it. Yeah, another lap, and it would not have been good. And he's going to want that caution thrown as soon as the leader crosses the line for Jared Lindsay, and it is. He was 40.1 seconds. One more lap, and Jared Lindsay would be in a heap of trouble. My goodness. No, that was some compelling racing there. So Jared Lindsay is back into it. Big stage points for Schwartz and Landwehr over Sean Anderson, so they pulled their gap. None for Jared Lindsay. So it's looking very good for Landwehr and Schwartz at the moment to advance on points. Sean Anderson going to need to get back ahead of them. Why are you inconsolable, Ryan? So now, what everyone's kind of hoping for that took 2 tires or that took no tires is they're just hoping for a caution somewhere in this second stage, and they will be able to use that extra set that they've saved. Everyone's going to come down and take 4 tires here. Ben Thomas catching back up to the pack. Jared Lindsay, your lucky dog. Ryan Tiller going to take the wave around as well. So he is in contention as well.
The last fantasy matchup. Yeah.
Oh. What ended up happening? I know he said he didn't need Mostert to go off, and then I said in chat, Mostert legacy game, and sure enough, it was. I lost all 3 of mine, so.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, but 4 tires and fuel for everybody.
Oh!
Oh, no.
I forgot. Yeah. 0.08.
Oh. I literally called the Raheem Mostert legacy game. That's brutal. I'm so sorry. Raheem Mostert had 25 points. That is sickening. And you had Daniel Jones on the bench, and you had DeAndre. Oh, brutal. Now, I wasn't a whole lot better this week, because who'd I have on the bench? Yeah. Puka Nakua on the bench, 30 points. George Pickens, 22 points. Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta.
Either of the tight ends on your bench would have been better.
Yeah, so that's a rough scene there for me. So I also blew fantasy this week. Not great.
I benefited from one of the most horrific injuries I've
of
seen
all
in a
time.
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. His knee is gone. He is probably done with professional football. So yeah, I'm gonna start Puka Nakua next week, and he's gonna get 1 catch for about 7 yards. I guarantee it. If I leave him on the bench, he'll go for 30. That's just fantasy football. Oh, are we? Interesting. Very interesting. But we're getting ready for the restart here. Jared Lindsay back in contention. Ryan Tiller 1 lap down, so he is just 1 caution away from also being back in contention. And Scott Kelly has been on pit road for 14 minutes. So I believe his night is done. 15 cars on the track, 14 on the lead lap, 1 in the pits. And we're getting ready to go back here for the restart. The 41, Jonathan Mazzella and Michael Davis in the 57. Your front row. Pace car is off. 41 leads us back to the Geico restart zone. And we are back underway. Great jump for the 41.
What is Jared Lindsay doing?
And he's coming in right off the rip. So just when we thought he was back in contention, he's right back out of it. I don't know if there was a penalty that he had trying to catch back up. Let's see what happens here. If this is a penalty, then he is definitely out of it. Started second drop due to upload packet loss, and he's taking tires here. It could be an auto fuel issue. Right side's on, left side's on. And he's down and away.
I'm going to go ask him.
Yeah, not sure what that was all about, because he was on pit road under the caution. Just like that. Here comes the 41 to put him a lap down. Got the leaders all over the place.
Well, I thought it could have happened. I didn't give too much thought to it because I figured, oh, it wouldn't. He got a 0x pushing Ben Thomas around the front stretch. And because of iRacing's,
oh, no.
So he didn't get the lucky dog. He had to take the wave round, so he didn't get to come in and pit.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Wow. Again, he will most likely fall back on the average finish, but this is not the race we thought we would see from him. The winningest driver this season is now back a lap down. Could very easily get that lap back, but he's going to need a caution. The Steelers' defense is spectacular when they go up against garbage teams. Our run defense is a little worse than the pass defense, though. We let Jerome Ford kind of cook us a little bit. But we get a bunch of turnovers, though.
70-10.
Huh?
70-10.
What are you talking about?
That is the point differential for the Cowboys.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but I'll be curious to see here what Jared Lindsay decides to do. This is the first time we've actually seen representative pace. He's right up here. Second on track, but not for position. As the battles are heating up all over the racetrack. There was almost contact there between the 53 and the 27. The 66 goes on by. No, we have... No, we did not. We looked like hot garbage week 1. And that was an actual contender, but we can beat the Browns, but the Browns are the Browns, so it doesn't really matter. Does it? This would be a great battle for the lead, but obviously Jared Lindsay's issues well documented tonight. And there are literal battles all over the rest of the racetrack. Cody B. Johnson, Ben Thomas, Lucas Reed. The Ravens are probably going to walk away with the division because Joe Burrow can't throw for over 150 yards, apparently. Steelers' offense is putrid. The Browns, Nick Chubb, his knee exploded. Deshaun Watson is a terrible person and a terrible QB. And the Ravens are kind of all that's left. But right now, Schwartz looking like a lock to go through.
Although for any fantasy owners out there, Kareem Hunt has been contacted by the Browns.
They really went back to their ex. That's wild. They let that man go and they said, hey, wait a minute. You can come back. Wild from the Browns.
Trade for Jonathan Taylor.
They should. They really should. If they are in win now mode, which by all accounts they are, they should go get Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, the Colts ate their terrible running back. They should eat theirs.
Trent Richardson's still around, ain't he? He's not busy, right? Someone can pick up the phone and call him. This is the battle for second on track. There's Schwartz all over the back bumper of the 8. Frank Gore? Yeah.
Where's Feast Mode at? Where's Cheeseburger Eddie? Where's Eddie Lacy?
Oh, no. Marshawn Lynch.
Where's Bray Rice at?
Oh. Not ideal.
Neither is their quarterback.
Yeah.
Neither is Kareem Hunt.
True. Ray Rice is the most notable offender, though, unfortunately.
I'm really surprised by Sean Anderson and Nathaniel Landwehr's lack of going forward, I guess you could say. Stuck mid-pack right now.
Yeah, had a lot more speed in the first run. Let's go on board with him, see if he's trying to save to get to a certain point in this race. And yes, that's exactly what's going on. Trying to save fuel.
Well, maybe I'm not as surprised.
So let's try and piece this together. He came down. He double stopped. He came in on 36 and 37. And he's going to try and go 25, 27 laps. Is he going to try and make this a one-stop race in the second half? I have to imagine that's what the idea would be.
Very possible.
So let's break out the trusty calculator here. So if we put it on 37 and goes 27, it's still not close. I don't know actually what the purpose of saving would be at this point. Even if he stretches it. If he can do 37, let's say somehow, some way he does get to 31. Yeah, it's going to be a two-stop race here in the second half. And we saw him. Everyone bit the bullet really early, too. They didn't even try and stretch it. So I'm kind of curious behind this strategy.
To be fair, when have we ever been actually up to date on the strategy at hand?
That's a good point.
We had an entire race where we were like, can they make it? And it was just like, oh, they were fine.
Yeah. That's why
That's why we're in the booth.
Yeah. We'll be back in the car here in a couple of weeks, though. Corbin tries to be our Larry Mack. My rod car championship hunt's back on here in a couple of weeks.
I will get back in the car just to keep that happen. I'll put you in the outside wall.
We're gonna go to Williams Brother 1-2 in rod car.
Now, As long as I get to be the winner.
I already got a win. We gotta get you one. It's fine.
I had one.
Did you though?
I did. Still bad, though.
Did you
It was
though?
mine. It was mine.
Yeah. Closest battle on the racetrack here for 7th, 8th, and 9th. One is better than nothing, all right?
I just know for a fact, the second we get back in the car, someone's going to come back. Ronald Jones did just get cut. He got one more lift in him. You would not rather lose like me. It still hurts. It still hurts.
Yeah, I think I would rather win than have a heartbreaking defeat, Corbin. It's L.
Because, I mean, like, you know how Max acts every time we talk about Dale Jr. and the Coke 600?
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in to tonight's broadcast.
That's how I feel.
Even when Dale, even when it wasn't a prestigious race, when he ran out of fuel at Las Vegas after he won the Daytona 500 in 2014, I was in shambles. And he won the Daytona 500 the week before that. I'm still upset. Man could have gone 2 in a row.
That Richmond race? Oh, that Richmond race.
Hate to see it.
I'm okay with it.
Kyle Busch is Chevy man now, so.
It's weird that people form their alliances with the make of the car.
Yeah,
the driver.
Yeah, I still don't like Kyle Busch. The bow tie has nothing to do with it.
You don't like anybody.
He did mellow. I mean, he's not a total jerkwad anymore. Like, he mellowed out a little bit, too, as he went to the bow tie. So I guess that's why people are like, oh, it's okay. The Kurt Busch redemption arc was wild, though.
That one was wild. That one was, yeah.
Look at this going on here. Look at this battles. 7th, 8th, and 9th still. No separation between these three. And then just ahead of that, Casey Brown trying to find a way around Tony Scareboat. And then Ben Thomas and Cody B. Johnson going at it.
A little bit of a, I wouldn't say battle for the top 3, but they're there.
Yeah, they're just kind of keeping each other at arm's length now. 2.5 tenths. Nobody really pushing the issue yet. But we do know the 41. He loves Michigan, and he has been at his best this season.
So when are you two going to pick new favorite drivers?
Dale Jr., my favorite. He's still an active Xfinity Series driver. And did Nathaniel Landwehr have a connection issue? Is this the second driver for Moflo to have a connection issue? He has not come back. I do not see him.
I don't see him listed as, like, disconnected.
He still hasn't come back. I think he could be dropping here anytime soon. But now we have the battle for the race lead. Be sure to update you on what happened to the 66. 58 using that inside line. Or does Randy Arms go in all of this?
I think if he drops, we have a locked-in Final Four.
Yeah, because let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the stats again. We can give you all the pertinent information if that were to happen. So if him and Lindsay are down and out, then Schwartz and Sean Anderson advance on points. And that's pretty much cut and dry there. They will be in the championship finale.
And there's the upload packet loss.
And then Nathaniel Landwehr advances on participation. He's been in all 15 races. And then Jared Lindsay advances on average finish.
So, I think we just locked up the Final Four.
Yeah, so the final four stayed the same if nothing else crazy happens. I mean, realistically, there's an outside shot that Jared Lindsay gets back into this race. It takes one caution, and they are racing pretty hard for a couple positions. I mean, there's a bunch of guys within a second of each other. So, I mean, Jared Lindsay could advance on points. Here comes Randy Arms. But he's looking like he's going to want to split this last stage in half, pitting with 40 to go, and then I imagine come down around lap 80 or so. But he's the first of the front runners to come down. And he'll take advantage of those fresh tires. Let's see how everybody else likes to respond. As the 41 back in front now. Do they try and respond early here to Randy Arms? Looks like the 58's going to pull the trigger. Michael Davis is as well. Scarbo, no. Casey Brown, no. Sean Anderson, no.
Casey Brown came in.
Eric Shields, no. Cody B. Johnson, Ben Thomas, no. Lucas Reed, no. So kind of a mixed bag here. Randy Arms is back out. Just ahead of the race leader. So he will stay on the lead lap. And there's a live look at pit road. As everyone else is down and away. Don't see any penalties for anybody at the moment. And here comes Randy Arms. This could be a battle for what would be the net lead. He's around the 57. He got around Jared Lindsay as well on much newer tires. Lindsay still hasn't come in, and there's Jonathan Schwartz, 9/10, 8/10, 7/10. And Schwartz will hold him off with one lap newer tires. That is crucial for Jonathan Schwartz's race. And that was done. He was a second quicker on the pit lane time. 43 flat to a 44 flat. And that is 100% the difference when it's that close. So good work by the 58 getting on and off, especially on exit. Looked like he was very aggressive on pit exit. So now we're kind of in the how long does everyone wait to respond? They're playing the tire strategy now. There's Michael Davis going around on his fresh tires. Jared Lindsay down to 12th. Casey Brown will catch him at some point. He's got fresh tires.
Landwehr did reconnect, by the way. He's 7 laps down.
And for LSRL, that's pretty much a non-starter. He will be locked into that 15th place. Unless somebody else drops, but it's uncommon. We haven't really seen that a lot from anybody this season. And 2 teammates have it happen on the same night. Casey Brown also having some... We just saw him blink there through 3 and 4, but he's back now. This is the battle for 5th. Cody B. Johnson putting Eric Shields under a lot of pressure. These guys have both had a solid night so far. And really, it's the top 8 that have stayed out on the racetrack, and their strategy appears to be just run it as long as you can and make use of the fresher tires later on in the run. They will come back to these guys. But Schwartz, Randy Arms, Michael Davis, they are quick now, as is Casey Brown.
Problems for Landwehr as he disconnected once again.
So yeah, his race is done and dusted. Cody B. Johnson trying to make the move stick on the 27. He'll get a good run down the front stretch. Let's go on board here with Cody B. Johnson. He's still saving, so he's trying to get to a target in his head. they can get it to lap 70, they actually do have a shot at it. They have an outside chance here. And he was one of the guys that came down and double pitted along with William Bowman. Everybody else pitted on lap 36. Sean Anderson also did the lap 37 pit, excuse me. And let's see, yeah, he's saving it as well. Here comes Ben Thomas and Lucas Reed. And it looks very close for Lucas Reed as he's saving on pit road, so he wants enough to get into his box. So it's close for these guys. Here comes your race leader, Jonathan Mazzella. Put it on lap 36. So he did 31 laps. Sean Anderson, William Bowman to the race lead. And they are continuing to save. This will be the battle for the net lead here. Schwartz working off of turn number 4. It'll be no contest for the time being as he goes well ahead. Taking advantage of the fresh tires now, but the 41 will be trying to track him back down. It'll be about 11 seconds by the time it all settles out. Here comes William Bowman in, Eric Shields in.
Was Sean Anderson none? I think Sean Anderson's...
He's trying to get to lap 70 at a bare minimum. Lap 71 would be even better for him. He's giving up a lot of time now, and the problem is he'll still have to save a little bit. He'll have the freshest tires, but he'll be kind of still in fuel conservation mode. Let's see what he elects to do here on board with him. Very ginger on the throttle. Cody B. Johnson is on the same strategy. He's aggressively saving as well. Yeah, so if he gets... He's done 33 laps on a tank of fuel, so he actually is going to come in this lap pitting on 70, coming to 71, so he should be able to make it to the end. Same thing with Cody B. Johnson. Incredible job of stretching it. No one thought it was possible. They proved that it was. We talked to Jared Lindsay. He swore by the 27 to 29, but that double pit was huge for him. And they saved under that one lap of caution, so we got a very interesting strategy perspective here.
Sean Anderson looking to go into the final four, looking real strong.
He might have played the strategy perfect. Let's see what he does on his get up to speed lap. Let's see how confident he is in regards to the fuel saving. They'll come out well behind. And if they still have to save, it could be that Schwartz and Randy Arms and Michael Davis and Mazzella, they just come in for a splash and go, and they're still quicker. It looks good coming out of the pits. You really don't want to lose too many positions. But at the same time, if you can get pulled along in the draft, then it's even better for you. Well, let's see here. This will be his first lap at speed as he heads down to turn number 1. He does have the draft of Ben Thomas. He's got the fresher tires. And let's see what he does. And he's not saving. He thinks he's good. Let's go Cody B. Johnson. We'll see what he does into turn number 3. He's also in the draft. And he's already saving, so he's going to be very sure. Sean Anderson not saving yet, so he could be on the potential strategy of go aggressive early and then save towards the end of the run. It will average out the same anyways. There comes the 41. He's charging up the field. He's gained about 4 seconds on the leader since he came out. He pitted on lap 67, so he'd have to go 34 to the end, which is just on the outside edge of what Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson did, so I don't think he's of the mind of saving at the moment, though. I think he's just going to splash and go at the end. And this many laps into the run, that looks to be his current objective. And these guys are working well together. They're drafting as well, so they're getting pulled along in the draft, able to save fuel. These guys could come into play very late in this race, depending on what others around them do. But it's kind of we have the freshest tires. Do we have enough fuel to start that charge? They are 24 and a half seconds off the race leader. If they still have to save, they'd lose more time, but it'll be very interesting. And then what if guys like Schwartz and Arms, what if they pit now and take tires and then they just go qualifying laps to the end? If you have to save, can you hold off that charge? So it'll be a fascinating battle for the win here. Multiple strategies. I'm very excited to see how the next 25 laps play out.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to justify saving right now. You have to be at least running a decent pace. You don't got to be putting it all out there qualifying lap, but you got to get some of this time back so that whenever they do come in and pit, that you give yourself enough of a gap that you don't have to, like, you're not coming to the line side by side, basically.
Yeah, they're 8th and 9th right now. 23 and a half seconds. Their last lap. They're drafting together. They ran a 40.24 each. Your race leaders, again, they pitted earlier, so they're going aggressive, just in a different sense. That's both strategies right now for your race leaders and the 15 and the 04 are aggressive for different reasons. One is aggressive on fuel, the others are aggressive on tires. But right now, the 15 and the 04 are quicker because they have fresh tires anyways, and they appear to be getting after it. And they're trying to close that gap. And this is dedicated teamwork. They're not officially working together, didn't announce anything. But the 15 lets the 04 go, and now he's going to draft and try and save some fuel. Let's go on board. We knew the 04 was already saving. The 15 hadn't on the first lap up to speed. Let's see what they do here. And yep, there it is. This is dedicated teamwork by the 15 and the 04. This is pretty incredible to watch. They got Ben Thomas 1.3 seconds ahead, and then it's pretty much the race leaders. The top 6 way ahead of this group. So they got really one car to pass, and then they can kind of settle into what they need to do the rest of the way. Right now, it is still comfortably Schwartz from Randy Arms, 2 seconds. Michael Davis having a solid race. But the 41 is charging on his fresh tires. He got 6 to 9 lap fresher tires, depending on what the guys ahead of him did. And he is the quickest car in terms of the front runners right now. About half a second quicker lap, so he actually can play himself back into this race. But it's a perfect strategy race right now. Tires versus fuel. 22 laps to go. We'll take one quick commercial break. Just shouting out the incredible partners of the LSRL, and we'll be right back to the checkered flag. Special shout out to Grid Finder, Butt Kicker, Wilder Graphics, Sim Racer Hub, Sim 3D for all the incredible work they do for the LSRL series. And happy to have them on board every week. Here's Ben Thomas in for his final stop of the night, so the strategy is starting to play out here a little bit. Jonathan Schwartz is in. So this is what they committed to. They weren't going to do a splash and go. This is what we kind of thought. They were going to split it in half, take 4 fresh tires, and they are running qualifying laps to the end. Michael Davis doing the same thing, as is Casey Brown, as is Randy Arms. But he spent a lot of time on pit road while we were doing that. So he's out of contention at the moment.
And it's not looking good for Sean Anderson. He is about a second slower, but he's about 16 seconds ahead.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick up the pace because he's not pitting again. 17 laps to go. Schwartz.
No, he's over a second slower.
39.37 to Sean Anderson's 40.58, over a second a lap. However, Michael Davis on the same strategy is another 8 seconds back, and Randy Arms played himself out of the race with a pit road penalty. So they're still going to get solid finishes out of this race.
I know, but you want to be the winner.
Definitely. We'll see if they have any pace left. If they can pick it up.
I think the biggest thing will be, does Jonathan Schwartz, he's going to get there, but does he use his stuff by the time he gets there?
Definitely.
Because he went from a 30.37 to a 30.5 already.
Yeah, and with how late Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson pitted, it's a 10-lap difference. It's sizable for sure, but it's not the biggest gap we've seen. So it will start to fall back. It will start to even out slightly. But definitely Jonathan Schwartz, you thinking, could be in the catbird seat here as Lucas Reed comes into pit. Excuse me, does not. I don't know what I was seeing there. Just got very loose out of 4.
A little silly, a little goofy.
Let's see here. 41 looks like he's not coming in. It was low off of 4. Does he try and save 33 laps? He put it on 67. Does he try and go the distance?
He saw Sean Anderson being.
Oh, and that's what he's going to do. He is saving fuel, and he is 24 seconds ahead of Schwartz. And he has backed it off massively. He is running 42 seconds flat. That is 3 seconds a lap slower than his best lap time. He is aggressively saving. So just go ahead and add in another twist. The aggressive saving for the 41 machine. My goodness. Adds another wrinkle to this fantastic race. Cody B. Johnson to second. Sean Anderson third. William Bowman could theoretically make it to the end, as could Eric Shields. So all of a sudden this has turned into a fuel mileage race. Now Lucas Reed comes in, and he is stuttering. He is out. Here is the man that is going to be running as hard as he can to the end. He's got the fuel, got the fresh tires. He's just running flat out. He's still in the 39 seconds. Tony Scarbo's trying to make it. He ran a 43.1. He is almost essentially at a Rick Ware pace right now. I mean, look, he's not even hitting 8,000 RPMs on the front stretch. He is just aggressively saving, trying to make it to the end. And right now, 12 laps to go. Still 15 cars on the racetrack. Scott Kelly out of the race. Differing strategies. Jared Lindsay slowly working his way back up through the field. He's up to 10. He's going to have to try and save the rest of the way. That's what he's doing. He's gonna end up with a top 10 out of this. But it looks like it could be Jonathan Schwartz or Jonathan Mazzella. I think Cody B. Johnson and now Sean Anderson are kind of stuck in the middle because Mazzella's trying to save, and he's not running that much slower than second and third right now. Again, these two will still come away with good finishes, but I don't think they're on for the win anymore. It's either Schwartz or Mazzella, I think, in the catbird seat right now.
I mean, there's still a chance that he runs out of gas.
Definitely. Mazzella's trying to stretch it incredibly much. Longer. He's going to try to go 34 laps to the end. Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson did 33, so he's trying to go one more.
Jonathan Schwartz was only, like, it's funny to say only half a second faster, and he's still almost 9 seconds behind. It could be close. Like, these are all going to be very close.
Let's go on board here. Sean Anderson especially, because he's got playoffs to think about. Let's see what the mindset is here. They're still working well together in the draft. This is incredible teamwork. Do they think they have enough saved? Do they open the pace back up? At least for Sean Anderson, yes. Cody B. Johnson, also yes. So they're pretty much just trying to get whatever they can out of the race car, 10-lap older tires, to try and hold back Schwartz, while also trying to run down Jonathan Mazzella, who is a second and a half slower. And his problem is he's got to pick up the pace at some point. Look at Nathaniel Landwehr here. Jared Lindsay. I mean, these guys are trying to... Landwehr, I mean, he's just doing his own thing at this point. Jared Lindsay's trying to make it on fuel. So he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to hop in the draft here. Why the heck not, right? I got literally nothing to lose. I'm trying to stretch it. Scarbo's trying to make it. William Bowman's trying to make it. The gap is decreasing between second and third to first, fourth to second. It's just all going to pop off here in the last couple of laps. Schwartz and Anderson comfortably through as it stands. On points. As long as they don't run out of fuel. Gap is now 5.5 seconds. The 18 and the 66 working well together. They just happen to be right behind the leader. These are teammates that are working together, trying to get to the end on fuel. 41 wishes they were ahead so he could get pulled along in the draft, I'm sure. But you can't, at this point, you cannot slow up and lose 2 to 3 tenths. You just have to just go. And there's a bit of a bump draft. I mean, he ran a 42 flat to a 41 flat, so it's a second a lap with 6 to go. He's going to have to pick up the pace. I don't know if he can, though. If he picks it up, he could run out. He's trying to go 34 laps. He's got 3-lap older tires as well than Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson. So, I mean, you're kind of just stuck.
Schwartz is also kind of petered out. His tires have fallen off. He's still about half a second faster, but
it's not enough. So now it's swung back to Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson. It really has, because they're over a second a lap quicker. 4.5 seconds. Mazzella did pick it up though. Last lap, only 0.6 of a lap slower. So he's picking it back up. Does he have enough fuel? He has to win. He has to.
And yeah, his teammates are getting right there, trying to create a chain, take whatever air they can, but they need to sandwich him.
Last handful of laps.
Sandwich him. Put him in the middle.
Yeah, bump drafted him. It's a little bit awkward. You'd rather just pull him along. Scarbo did not make it. So that could spell doom for the 41. Again, half of a second quicker. And it's going to come down to oh so close. Let's take a look here at the lap time history.
I wonder if... What if he... Is he shutting off the car? Can you go check that out down the backstretch and see if he's just getting pushed?
It's 3 seconds at the line with 3 to go. And he's not hardly cracking 7K RPMs. He's not shutting the car off.
He is getting pushed. He's doing fuel saving by just getting
2.5 seconds. Sean Anderson, they've made the switch. Cody B. Johnson back in behind now. He has to do this as well because he was leading the group. So he's going to tuck in the draft. Let his teammate go through. Sean Anderson peaking at the right time. It's 1.5 seconds. Look at the team play going on. Coming to 2 laps to go. It's less than a second. You can see the time gap there.
They got squirrely at the front, though.
It is 1 second. We don't need the lap time history anymore. That's for sure. Because it's right there. 1 second with 2 laps to go. If you're Jonathan Mazzella, you got to pick it up. There's no playoffs. You might as well just put your foot down and see if you got enough fuel at this point. You've done all that you can. Short's not going to be a factor. I mean, you have to pick it up now. You just have to run it and hope that it works.
I mean, they're coming on the outside.
It is 0.3 of a second. Landwehr trying to throw the block. It's the ultimate team game here on the last lap. But do they have enough fuel? White flag in the air. Race is official. The 66 can do nothing but watch as they're flying around the outside. The 41 is loose. Here comes Sean Anderson. It was a heck of an effort. But he ran out a lap short. Cody B. Johnson sails around the outside. Does Cody B. Johnson, does he make a send, though, for the win?
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Into 3 and 4 for the final time. And Sean Anderson, 12 top 10s, only 3 top 5s, and no wins. The consistency is going to pay off. He wins and punches his ticket to the championship. What a race. And Mazzella is out. Shorts will end up with a podium. Cody B. Johnson has an issue there. Mazzella, I should make it. 60 miles an hour, he'll make it. 8 cars on the lead lap. It was a heck of an effort. It really was.
I think there might have been some bad blood between Cody B. Johnson and Landwehr with that blocking they were doing.
Yeah, that to me was a bit much because he was 15 laps down. I understand pushing your teammate who's low on fuel, but don't block. You know, that was a bit much.
Yeah, I think Cody hit him with the little brake check there.
Oh, he definitely did. He slowed down. I'm voicing my displeasure. And then we had some thrilling battles. Here, William Bowman ran out. Eric Shields and Casey Brown. This is all going on while the race for the win's going on, and people are running out of fuel, and it's just a crazy, chaotic race. Jared Lindsay comes home to recover 9th, and what a finish, honestly. That was well done. My goodness. We need, where are our race winners at? We gotta talk to him and ask him how that strategy played out. My goodness.
I pinged them, see if they get it.
I respect the 41 for going for it. The burnout there. Sean Anderson finally breaking through. My goodness. And what a time to do it. Oh, absolutely well-deserved burnout. His 13th top 10 of the season in 15 races and his first win. You couldn't script it.
We got Sean Anderson.
Let's go ahead and get him in. Here with your race winner, Sean Anderson. Incredible consistency all season long, but you kind of lacked that top-end speed to get those top 5s in the wins, but it finally all came together. You had great qualifying speed, you had great race pace, and you nailed the strategy. Talk me through that. That was pretty much the perfect race to get yourself locked into the championship next week.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
How
It
did it
feels
all?
good to finally get a win. We kind of tried to figure out strategy throughout the race. Cody definitely helped me out a lot there. I made a mistake in stage 1 and didn't take tires there. I had an extra set I probably should have, and I went back in the stage points, which kind of sucked, but in the end result, it definitely worked out good. Had just enough fuel to make it across the line. They got about half a lap left there when we crossed the line, so it worked out great.
Yeah, so yeah, the mistake in stage 1, it wasn't a egregious one because it was one that a couple other people had made. No tires versus tires, with the fuel kind of always in the back of everyone's mind. When did you commit to making it on one more stop? We know you double pitted, but was it right after that stage that you said we're going to try and make it on one stop?
Yeah, once we get the end of the stage, I looked and saw what lap I had pitted on. I thought I could go about 28, 29 laps pushing, so I figured if I saved a little bit, then I could probably make it 30 to 31 laps and split it in half. I think we ended up having 64 laps or 63 laps at the end there? So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
just
from
barely enough.
The restart, you had gone 33 laps from the stage restart to pit on lap 70, and from there it was kind of like, hey, he can make this. And just the team play between you and Cody, drafting together the whole way, saving fuel as well, and just that was absolutely well executed. And it couldn't have come at a better time, and you'll be racing for a championship next week.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a good season. I've been consistent, but like you said, I've been lacking that speed. And since I loaded in the lobby tonight, I had good practice speed, good qualifying speed, and decent enough race pace to make the strategy work. So it worked out great for once for me.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on a well-deserved, hard-fought victory, and we'll let you get any shout-outs in if you got any.
Thank you. Just shout out to everybody that helps me every week. Lucas Reed, my buddy Jeff Rudick, he always helps me out and cheers me on. Cody for the strategy tonight and helped me out pushing and drafting. That was awesome. So I'm excited and glad to be in the championship race there.
Definitely. Well, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great one, and we'll see how it plays out next week, and looking forward to it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then here with the runner-up, but the win for Sean Anderson probably wouldn't have happened without Cody Johnson. Absolutely a team player here tonight, working well with the strategy, drafting and saving fuel all the while. After the final pit stop, and kind of the same question, when did you realize that the one stop in the second half of the race was going to be possible?
It was questionable at the beginning, but we didn't really know if it was going to pan out or not because I know some guys. I told Sean that if we started seeing pit stops around lap 60, that it was probably going to be close because they were going to split it into 3 runs, and they did. So I realized that I wasn't being able to save as much fuel as Sean, being at the back of the pack away from the draft. So we kind of decided that we were just going to kind of link up together and see if we could save more in the working together. And it worked out. I knew that it was the playoffs, and he said he needed a good finish. So just told him I'd work with him. I enjoy racing with Sean. So glad to see him get a win there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was just beautiful team play, the drafting, and then just working well together. You made it 33 laps from the stage restart to lap 70, and then 30 laps to the end, and it was still close. You said he had half a lap, and just absolutely well executed. And a season best finish for you as well, and biggest mover to boots. Just an all-around solid night for you guys.
Yep, it was good, man. Congrats to Sean on like I said, on the win there. That was fun. Appreciate y'all broadcasting. We go back and watch it, and it's pretty cool. So I appreciate y'all doing that also, and to the league owners for having us in here. It was fun. One of the best leagues we've run in as far as clean goes. A lot of green flag racing, so that's fun too. So I enjoyed all of it.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again. Well executed. You couldn't have done it without you. And I hope to see you back next week for the finale.
Yeah, man. We'll see y'all.
Alrighty. And here with our third place finisher, Jonathan Schwartz, he went aggressive on the strategy in regards to the tires, not so much the fuel. And he was trying to run down the race leaders late in the going, just ran out of laps, but not for a lack of trying. But he does advance to the championship next week. Talk me through the race and what you saw from your perspective, kind of on the tire side of things, and how that played out for you guys.
I kind of played on the safer side tonight. I wasn't sure if they can make it on one stop from the stage break, but Yeah, I mean they played it right, so I still made it to the championship race. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, definitely, and it's gonna be a good one. Just absolutely a phenomenal season. What do you think you have for everybody at Homestead? How you like your chances?
Jared's gonna be tough for sure. That's really his stomping ground. So we'll learn through the week, see if I can figure it out maybe, and maybe we'll give him a run for his money.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again on another consistent finish and advancing into the championship race. We'll let you get any shout outs in if you got any.
I just want to thank you guys for the work you do all season long. It's been great so far, and hopefully we can keep this going. The work our admins do for us, Randy and all them, keep this league going every week. It's been great so far. We've had a good season with low cautions, and let's hope we can have a great championship race.
Definitely. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
All right.
And it's just everybody else is in there, so we'll go do it.
Sorry.
Hello, literally everybody else.
Hello.
First of all, what a race, fellas. Michigan always delivers. Last season it was the tire strategy. Tonight it was the fuel strategy. And there was just so much going on. Firstly, my condolences to Jared Lindsay and Nathaniel Landwehr. Someone was plotting against you guys with the connection, and that kind of ruined what could have been an even more incredible finish. But yeah, that was weird. We haven't had any issues, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, that kind of changes the complexion of the, round of 4. I think that you guys still get in with how everything worked out. I think at least one of you does. I'm almost positive. So,
I think I'm about to get the boot here in a minute. Sounds like.
Yeah,
I think
if I
those
figured it out correctly.
Mazzella.
Good. Yeah.
You've only been here like half the time.
I think because I led the most laps, had the fastest lap, and ran out of fuel in the last lap, so I burned the most fuel. I get in, yeah.
That's just because you're the biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah, but that too. Yeah. So we realized that what was going on is Schwartz was trying to run everybody down, and then Cody B. Johnson and Sean Anderson were saving fuel, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, wait a minute, Mazzella's doing the same thing. Obviously, you pitted 3 laps before them, and it was an aggressive strategy. Like, you had just fully committed, shutting the car off, running 2 to 3 seconds slower. You had Landwehr and Lindsay helping you out there late, and it was just an incredible display of teamwork and just going for it. So it was just a crazy race.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't aggressive the whole run, just like the last 20 laps with it. So
Right.
I couldn't make up my mind if I wanted to go fast or save fuel. So
yeah, but obviously
if I'd done it the whole run, I might have made it.
Right, but obviously when you see them in your rearview mirror, you're like, well, you kind of just have to go for it, hope that they got enough in there, and you still finished 8th, but it was a heck of an effort for sure for going for it. You were trying to stretch it farther than anybody did tonight.
Yeah, it was fun. I had nothing to lose, so it was a good time.
Definitely. And then kind of the other half of the coin, we had, Michael Davis and I'm trying to think here, Eric Shields. I think he had saved enough, but it was really kind of just split in the middle. It's like, do you do the one stop, or do you kind of just split it up 2 stops after the stage and just you're in qualifying laps the rest of the way? What was kind of the decision making behind that?
For me, I was just.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, for me, I was
I wanna go.
figuring some other people would try to one stop it, so I kind of had committed to it to begin with. I saved a little bit on the first run, and then I saved the entire second run. I clutched every corner, and even then, I mean, I ran out of fuel like a few car lengths from the start finish line, but it did jump me up a whole bunch. I mean, I was not running very fast times throughout the whole race here, so I figured might as well try something pretty aggressive to get some spots, and kind of worked out. I'm glad with it. I'm not usually good at saving fuel.
It's definitely a different style of racing. It's like, hey, we're trying to get the best finish possible, but go slower on purpose to do it. So it's definitely a fine art for sure.
Oh yeah.
But just an absolutely insane race. I mean, I could not believe it. I'm like, wait, we got half the field doing one thing and half the field doing the other thing, and it's all kind of converging under 10 laps to go. But if Homestead is half as good, then we'll have a great championship race.
Yeah.
So I believe it's Schwartz and obviously Sean Anderson threw on points, and we're just kind of waiting on the wild card. Is that correct, Randy?
Yes, and I believe I have them.
Ooh.
So the
Live
driver
announcement.
with the best average finish in all races. So we had 4 people run every race, I say this season. Schwartz was one of them, so he's already locked in. So we take him out. So it came down to Michael Davis, Nate, and Ryan, and Nate has the best average finish. So then we go to the driver with the most participation. That's already not in the top 2. Well, that brings us back to Michael and Ryan, and Michael squeezed out Ryan because the tiebreaker on that is also average finish, or tiebreaker on everything. I think is average finish. So, and then Michael beat Ryan's average finish by 2 positions on the season. So it'll be Sean, Schwartz, Nate, and Michael.
Yay! Glad I can disappoint everybody.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the championship 4.
How about it?
But
That'll be fun.
Yeah, what are we thinking for Homestead? How does everyone like their chance? I know I already asked Schwartz, but for Davis, how we feel about Homestead?
Man, I'm all right there in the trucks. I haven't really ran it a lot in this car, so I don't know. I'm gonna definitely have to try to put some laps in. I'm just not up to the caliber of some of these guys. There's some really fast guys in here, so I'm just trying to hang on to their coattails and try to figure out how to be fast like them.
Definitely. Well, we will see how it plays out. If we could get another strategy race, that would turn things upside down, so no one is out of it. You have to be there at the end to have a shot, and we'll just see how it all unfolds next week.
Yeah, I mean, anyone's got a shot now that, or say Jared's not in it.
Definitely, but yeah.
Sorry, Jared.
Oh.
Well, we changed the rules at the last second. I get kicked out. What the hell was this? I want my lawyer.
Oh man, crazy! But looking forward to it. It's been a great season, and I know we're going to represent well next week. No cautions again tonight, and we're looking forward to Homestead. We'll crown a champion. Looking forward to it, fellas.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, so I probably should have realized that at some point. It is the best average finish of everyone that attends all races, because you can't have somebody that does one race and wins and then never come back. So, Jared Lindsay is out, and Nathaniel Landwehr is in. Sean Anderson, Jonathan Schwartz, and Michael Davis gets in on the participation with the best average finish over Ryan Tiller. So it's completely blown wide open now. And early betting money would be Landwehr, followed closely by Schwartz and Anderson, and you heard it from Michael Davis himself. Got 4th here tonight. Good strategy, had some good speed. So we'll just see how it plays out. I mean, you take a look at the stats there. This is his 7th top 10 of the season. He picks up another top 5. So we'll just see how it all plays out. We know everyone's going to give it their best. They know what they have to do to win. And we're just looking forward to a great finale next week. All right, your final thoughts.
I don't really have any. No thoughts, brain empty.
No thoughts. But yeah, just a fantastic race. You can see here topsy-turvy. 8 cars finished on the lead lap. Mazzella last of those. Heck of an effort trying to save fuel. All the way down to Ben Thomas, and then Landwehr had disconnected, came back. Scott Kelly out of the race with an incident. Jared Lindsay finishes 9th due to an internet connection issue. Heartbreaking for him. 5 wins on the season. Won't get to race for a championship. We'll just see how it goes next week, and we will be there to call flag to flag action. But before we get to that, we'll be at Rodcar this Friday night, 9 Eastern, for the Next Gens at Daytona. And then next Monday, Infinity Racing Series heads into Gateway. So looking forward to that. And the next Tuesday night, LSRL Xfinity Series Championship, live at 8:30 Eastern at Homestead. Looking forward to it. Y'all be safe, take care, and we'll see you Friday night.